Hello again, I'm John Turzak, and today I'm going to answer the question of how to make one version of a good Puerto Rican style rice dish, okay? This dish is going to be made with 2 cups of white converted rice, a tablespoon and a half each of ground cumin and coriander, which we're going to grind in a grinder here, about 3 ounces of capers, and we're going to start out with a couple cups of chicken stock, and we're going to dilute about 1.5 ounces of achiote, which is annatto paste, and we're going to dissolve that in our hot chicken stock that I've got here. And we're going to have red pepper, green pepper, onions, chorizo, tomatoes, garlic, and a little bit of salt and pepper. Let's start by getting the bacon fat, a couple of tablespoons, into our hot pan back here. And let's move the vegetables directly into that pan. We're going to saute the vegetables a little bit and throw the capers in there too now. And let's get the seeds ground up. Grind these up together because we're going to use them both together. Love this little coffee grinder for this. And if you can grind yours fresh, the coriander and the cumin, I would do it. But if you have them pre-ground, that also works just fine. There we go. That's ground enough for me. Let's get that in there with the veg. It's looking good. Let's get the chorizo diced up. I'm putting a fair amount in here. This is kind of a substantial rice, but I want my chorizo. This is chorizo from Spain, not from Mexico now. In substantial enough pieces so there's food in this rice that doesn't get minced up so much that you can't really see it when you're eating it, you know? So we'll throw these 3 slices in there too. So let's throw the chorizo in there. I got about 4 ounces of chorizo, 3.5 to 4 ounces there. Could you put bacon in here? Absolutely. Now, let's add about 2 tablespoons of garlic. Try and get my annatto paste here completely dissolved before I put it in there. Because what we're going to do is we're going to soak the rice until it absorbs a good part, if not all, of this chicken stock and achiote while it's not cooking, okay? So we're going to put 2 cups, 1.5 cups of fresh diced tomato in here now. And I want to be careful I'm not burning any garlic back here. So for right now, we're going to pull that off the fire for a second. That looks like it's mixed up enough for me. This annatto is what's going to change the color of this entire rice dish. So let's put our 2 cups of rice in to the mixture, and let's put our quart of achiote flavored chicken stock on this. Now, I'm going to shut this burner off. I'm going to swing this over here. And we're going to let that sit and soak for a little while. So I'll be back in about, we'll fast forward this for about 30 minutes or whatever it takes, and I'll tell you how long it took to absorb what's in there. So I'll see you then. It's been about 30 minutes that the rice has been soaking in the achiote chicken stock with all that stuff. And let's take a look at that and see how that looks. Now see, I haven't even turned the fire on yet for this rice, which is definitely worth noting that this rice is partially cooked right now, and I've never actually put the fire on. This is a nice way of making this kind of rice, by the way. And I never put any pepper in there, so let's get a little bit of fresh ground black pepper in here. Of course, if you want this a little bit spicy, this is the time to put some dried chili flakes in it or anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more chicken stock or water, and we're going to start the little quick cooking process here. This looks good. Let me just get a taste of that so I know what I have here. This rice, first of all, tastes good, and it's close to being done, and I never actually put the fire on underneath it. Let's put about a cup, a little bit more than a cup and a quarter of chicken stock or water. And if you wanted butter in it, this would be a good time to put 2 or 3 ounces of butter in, or more olive oil or more bacon fat. So let's set that to cook on low. Let's put it on medium for now, and I'll probably turn it down to low a little bit. And then as soon as it's done, I'll tell you how long it took, and we'll get some of it on a plate. I'm going to put some green peas in it because these Puerto Rican rice dishes usually have pigeon peas, and I couldn't find any today. So we can put regular peas in it, and that's what we're going to do. So I'll be back in, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whenever that rice is completely done. We're going to dump it on a sheet pan so it can cool off. So I'll see you then. Okay, rice has been cooking only 15 minutes. It's done. It was 3/4 of the way done just from soaking. And let's get it seasoned. Looks good. Let's, yeah, it looks good. None of it's stuck to the bottom or anything. It's nice and loose, too. Now, that whole soaking process helps the rice not get stuck together also. Sometimes you boil rice too fast, all the starch makes the rice get stuck together. Let's taste this real quick, and then we're going to add, I got about 1.5 cups of peas there. This stuff is hot. I'm going to be careful getting this in my mouth. This needs a little bit of salt. And let's dump the peas in here. Let's go with 1 cup of peas. That looks like enough. Just going to mix those in. And normally what I would do, I'm making the rice in advance of serving dinner. So what I want to do is I want to dump it on something like this, some flat surface, so I can lay it out and allow it to cool so it stops cooking a little bit. That's another reason why it's going to get all pasty, because if you let it sit around and continue to cook, that's exactly what it'll do. Looks good. Looks real good. I like this. I don't think you need to have me put this on a plate. There you have one formula for a nice Puerto Rican style rice. Get a chance to eat this, go for it. It's good. We're definitely going to eat this probably with some braised short ribs today, I think. Bye-bye.